We have some incredible news coming out of Washington State in regards to their recent legalization of recreational weed. Huffington Post reports, Washington State raked in more than $70 million in taxes during its first year of legal and regulated marijuana sales. State pot shops sold more than $257 million worth of marijuana, generating more than $64 million through July 1st, thanks to the state's marijuana excise tax. Add in local sales and other taxes, and Washington's state and local governments have collected more than $70 million, roughly doubling the state's original marijuana tax revenue forecast of $36 million for the first year of sales. Okay, so what we're seeing here is a situation that's very similar to what happened in Colorado, where they legalized recreational weed, and they went, goodness gracious, it appears as if we're getting more revenue than we thought we'd have. In fact, in Colorado, we covered the story how there's some provision in the Colorado Constitution that mandates that if a program takes in a certain amount of revenue over what they thought it was supposed to make, that you then have to bring a ballot initiative to the people and ask them, what do you want to do with the surplus from the revenue that we raised in this area? And that's what happened with marijuana. They raised so much money in taxes on legal weed that they didn't know what to do with it all. They had to bring a ballot initiative to the people to say, what do you guys want to do with the surplus? Because we got a lot of money left over. Well, now they're saying in Washington State, they doubled the expected revenue. They thought, okay, we'll only get this amount of money, $36 million. They got over $70 million. So now what's happening? Of course, other states are looking at the revenue and they're saying, maybe legal weed isn't all that bad. My question for these people, what the fuck did you idiots think was going to happen? Did you think you were going to legalize an entire new industry that people are really interested in, and you weren't going to see economic and fiscal benefit? How thick are those blinders that you're wearing? But that's the thing, like, we just assume, you guys listen to this show, so you probably assume the same thing, and we talk about this all the time, so I know I assume it. But it's like, we think that since we know legalization is better on almost every front, that everybody knows that legalization is better on almost every front, but they don't. They don't know it. I think they should know it, but they don't know it. And I love this next line from the spokesman of the marijuana majority, because I think this says it all, and this alludes to what we're referring to here. Quote, while this amount of money isn't nearly enough to run a whole state with, these are real dollars that can now be spent on things like schools, healthcare, and road repair instead of going straight into the pockets of the drug dealers who controlled the marijuana market prior to legalization. Aha. So there's the biggest fact that I think if more people knew about this, you'd see the percentage of people in favor of marijuana legalization go from 60%, which is what it is right now, up to like 85%. And that fact is, when you have a product illegal, when you have a drug illegal, you're not actually eliminating the drug from existence. What you're doing is you're giving a monopoly to the criminals on the black market, to the cartels and to the mafia to sell it and make more money, and they get more powerful, and then crime spikes as a result of the fact that bad people just got fucking rich. I think if people understand that, there would be a fundamental shift in the mentality of the American people on this issue. Now, we're already getting to that point even without many knowing that fact. 60% of people, that's nothing to scoff at. That's a tremendous majority that say, yeah, just legalize it. But I think that number would be like 85% if people knew that. And all you gotta do is study history, and you see that it's clear that that's what happens. How do you think the fucking mafia got so powerful? How do you think that they had, that they're viewed as like, oh, the mafia, the big-time underground business, criminal organization here. It's large and powerful. Well, they got that way because of Prohibition. When the government decided, no more alcohol, the alcohol didn't just poof, go away, magic. No, it didn't go away. You had the mafia connect the dots underground to give the alcohol to the speakeasies, and they made all the fucking money. So they got filthy, stinking rich when alcohol was illegal off of selling black market alcohol. And then there's a whole other aspect to this, which is regulation, which is because it was black market, people would die from bad batches of alcohol that were cut with bad toxic things. Well, the same thing happens with weed. If you're buying weed or you're buying any drug on the black market, you're really not 100% sure what it is, and it hasn't been tested by, some FDA official to say, okay, no, this is cut with something dangerous, this is cut with some sort of carcinogen, bad batch, get rid of it. You don't have that regulation when it's underground, but if it's legalized and taxed, well, then it's also regulated. So you have revenue coming into the state, you have private sector job creation, and you have a decrease in crime, because crime is affiliated with black market activity, and you have less health issues. There's no reason to not be in favor of legalization, and this is more evidence of it right here.